Hello, hello, community. Happy Thursday to all of us. I hope you and yours are doing fantastic. Welcome to today's community event on our YouTube live stream. As always, we're always thrilled, looking forward to these events as they give us the opportunity to really discuss what we are so enthusiastic about, the crypto industry, the blockchain technology, and of course also gives us the opportunity to socialize, to grow our community, digital global community that we strive to grow, to also push and encourage the network effects that comes along with this technology. And then, of course, also it gives us the opportunity to zoom in and discuss our ecosystem as well, as we always aim to pull parallels on the discussions of the sessions and then see how we are faring compared to the challenges we face in the industry and how we as an ecosystem are addressing them. So with that said, once more, welcome to today's community event. We are thrilled to have you all here with us today. What a pleasure. If you're new in the community, feel right at home. We're happy to have you here with us today. And the regulars, those that are consistently showing up to these events, we are happy to see you here with us as well. As always, we have our daily routines, and this is our activity that we have on Twitter Space. On Twitter, on X, as it's known these days. We encourage us all, especially those that have not yet, let's engage with the tweets. Let's ensure that we engage with them so that they can reach as many people as possible. That will bring awareness to our industry, and that will also serve one of our 4 pillars, which is education. Education is key, like we always say. We can't stress it enough, especially in this industry. We are so new in this industry, and it's important for us to be informed, educated, and inspired so that we can make rational decisions in an otherwise very, very emotional and sentiment-driven industry, right? It's not just cryptocurrency, crypto industry. It's the entire financial industry. It's driven by emotions, right? Fear and greed. With that said, thank you for all your comments. We'll go through them at the end as usual. We want to cut straight to the chase. And as you see, today's topic already gave it away. The winner takes it all. I believe there's a lot to discuss today. It's going to be a fun one. Hopefully there is something that we can take away from all of this. As always, use these sessions as a point of reference, right? Just do your own research. This should serve as a point of reference for you to go further, right? To do your own research. It's for us to just get more clarity beyond just a regular headline, right? Let's see beyond those headlines. Let's read between the lines. And the trick is always look at things for what they really are. Don't just look things and take them for their face value. Look beyond. And the name of the game is always be way ahead, right? Think ahead. And that's the hardest thing to do, right? In a world that we are so driven by all these social medias, it's so hard to just think ahead, right? Think ahead. We're being bombarded with so many news, so many informations, and sometimes we just have to weed out of them and just think beyond of what we're reading. So now that we've discussed this, let's get to today's topic. As we said, the winner takes it all. And also today marks exactly 1 month, community, since election. Election was November 5th. Today is December 5th. A lot has happened, right? Including BTC hitting all-time high. And it's been just a Bitcoin show since then, and as we'll see, right? So bear with me. Let me share my screen, and we can kickstart this session right away. All right. As always, let's just briefly, let me refresh it. Let's just briefly go through today's coin market cap. Let's see what's happening. This is impressive. We are 3.7 trillion. This is amazing. We are way at all-time highs. We are up close to 4% within the last 24 hours. Like we said, Bitcoin, this is a major milestone, crossed the $100,000 mark. This is just a major, major milestone, a mental milestone as well. This is causing a lot of FOMO, a lot of awareness to those that are still sitting on the sidelines, waiting for things to happen. Even Ethereum is at 3,900. We haven't seen this one in over half a year. Last time we've seen 3,900 Ethereum. So slowly, slowly we're picking up. But like we said, since election, 1 month from today, on the day, there's been this 1 month full of just one-way Bitcoin, one-way Bitcoin street. It's been hitting one all-time high after the other, and it's been getting all the attention, right? All the attention, and other altcoins, with the largest one being Ethereum, have been literally been left out, right? There's not been a lot of highlights on Ethereum or other altcoins, right? So with that said, let's look at some other news of the day. Aave, as we know, it's the largest. Let's look at it right here. Aave, let's read it real quickly. So Aave is on par with traditional banks as net deposits reach all-time high, 31 billion US dollars. So this is the industry that was known as, oh, this is just some magic internet money. But now Aave, a decentralized lending and borrowing platform, is right there, toe to toe with traditional banks in terms of deposits, right? Deposits. The only difference, because it's decentralized, you can actually verify the deposits. You can actually see how much is there because everything is on chain. So that's the major difference. And the beautiful thing about the blockchain technology, not only is it toe to toe with traditional banks, but it's transparent. And it has to be backed, because on Aave you have to be, it's all about over collateralized lending, right? So whatever you're borrowing, you have to over collateralize it, usually 1.5 times, right? So this is beautiful to see. And why is this so relevant, right? Why is this so relevant? Because Aave, like I wanted to show us here, if we go to Ethereum, even if we just, among all the applications in the entire industry, Aave now surpassed Eigenlayer, which is actually a blockchain, surpassed it in terms of total value locked, as you see here. And it's the second largest application in the entire industry. So there's not some random application. There's a lot of money going on here, right? And lending plays a major role in DeFi. And this is our native Ethereum application. Like if we go to Ethereum, you see here, the top 3, 4, even 5 were the same, right? Nothing changed. Look at the top 5. And if we go back to all, you see they're the exact same, right? And this is because, like we always discuss, Ethereum just has most of the locked value, right? 76 billion. They have over 100 billion in stable coins, and there is actually 196, right? So over 50% of it. So this is a major, major step for DeFi and for Ethereum, because Aave is a native Ethereum application. Of course, it's on 6 other blockchains. However, it has the most liquidity, most activity on Ethereum. So this is great for us to see. And another aspect is also that its market cap is just 3.5 billion. So it's a very, very small application market cap wise compared to other traditional banks, which are in the hundreds of billions in market cap and have been around for 100 years plus, right? So this is a major milestone for us in the industry as we move forward. Another news as well also affects us is Circle USDC issuer they became the first stablecoin issuer to comply with new listing and market rules for Canada, right? For the Canadian crypto market. So USDC is the first and only major dollar stablecoin that is compliant with new regulations in Canada. So anytime you read an article from Circle, one thing that always stands out is compliance, right? Compliance and first and only. You'll always see these headlines, right? And the question that you naturally ask yourself, why is Circle, the USDC issue, why are they always so keen on being compliant? Why are they always getting all these licenses in different places? They already got the MiCA license for Europe, 27 nations, right? Nation states in Europe. Now they got the one in right next door neighbor, Canada. They're working on the US one. It's being worked on as we speak, right? So they're really pushing the compliance. This is simple reason is, like we said, the end game is to become a national full reserve digital bank. And to do that, or to be that at its fullest, you need to be compliant. You have to have licenses across borders, right? And this is very important. So Circle and USDC, they're playing the long game, right? Another thing also, they are paired, they're in partnership with BlackRock. And BlackRock wants compliance. They are heavily regulated, right? And even the reserves for Circle are being managed by BlackRock. So if you want to be strategic partnership with BlackRock, you have to be compliant and you have to be on top of your game. So, and this is very important. And this is another great step for us because we are paired as far as Bullrun is paired with USDC stablecoin. And the more compliant, the more adaptation USDC receives, better for us, right? Because we are paired with USDC, Bullrun is, and we're issuing USDC staking rewards as well. So this is why, of course, we pointed this out. So those are the news that I just wanted us to share with the community. And let's get now to today's session, right? Let's kickstart today's session. The winner takes it all. This is a strong statement, very strong statement. And as usual, let's not just take my word for it. Let's back it by articles, facts, statements. Let's verify this, right? Is the winner really going to take it all? So there's a beautiful article here, and that's the beautiful thing about YouTube is we can share our screens and we can all read along and see what we're seeing, right? So the topic of this article is why tech markets. Why are tech markets winner take all? Why, right? So once a company dominates a technology market, it is almost impossible to displace it. Almost impossible, right? This is a beautiful book. It talks about the power of Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple, also known as GAFA, right? These are the magic four. So anyway, there's a quote here by Peter Thiel. And Peter Thiel, for those that are not familiar with him, is the co-founder of PayPal and Palantir, right? So he said that competition is for losers. If you want to create and capture lasting value, look to build a monopoly, period. Now, that's a statement, right? He says competition is for losers. You shouldn't be competing. You should be actually building, look to build a monopoly. Don't compete, build a monopoly, right? Peter Thiel. This is a very powerful statement. Very powerful statement. So what else? In the 1960s, IBM dominated the mainframe market. Guess what? It still does. In the 1980s, Microsoft and Intel dominated PC software and processor markets. Guess what? They still do. From the 90s, with the World Wide Web, the winners were Google in search, Amazon in e-commerce, and Facebook in social networking. They still dominate those markets to this day. Since 2007, Apple and Google, which is a iPhone operating system, right, or Android, have dominated the market for mobile internet operating system, right? So, needless to say, the pattern is clear. New tech markets are highly competitive. However, once a company achieves clear market leadership, it is almost impossible to displace them. Unless the threat is that at some point, a new, bigger market emerges. A new market emerges. Guess what's new right now? The blockchain technology is new. So this is the opportunity for this market, and this market is wide open. So who's going to tackle this? And whoever does so, once a company dominates the technology market, it's almost impossible. And we saw the examples here. Back in the 60s, in the 80s, in the 90s, they're still dominating. Even back in 2007, they're still dominating. So once you capture a new market, you're good. So like we said here, unless a market, this is the only exception, unless a new market emerges dominated by another player, as mainframes and PCs have been overshadowed by online. Now these are the three technologies. Remember the online, that's the internet, right? That came first. That was in the 90s, right? And then the mobile technology, that was in the 2000s. And now we're in the era of AI. And what's AI using? Or we are using it as well for our staking platform, cloud technology. This is now the space we're in today. This is what's booming right now. And this is what's called, this is what the engine behind all the AI. So whoever is dominating in cloud-based technology, guess what? They're going to win the AI race. And AI and cryptocurrency go hand in hand, right? We hear about all these new agents and that are being deployed. Coinbase deployed an agent that you and I could use, and you can just put in some phrases and tell them, okay, this is what I want, this and this, and it will do it for you. How advanced is that? So anyway, that's a whole different topic. So in the words of, so what I want us to understand here, community, is that why are tech markets concentrated? What are the factors that make them winner take all and all of this, right? And what I want us to look at is down here. Winners take all and keep it, literally. After they took it all, they really keep it. We saw it in the 60s, in the 80s, in the 90s. They're still having it. But now we are at the crossroad of a new technology right now. Now, this is the exception. The door is wide open. It's an even playing field right now. So anybody that comes with innovative, sustainable, efficient technologies, guess what? It's wide open. It's for them to take it. So a challenger, this is an example, a challenger to Google in search, right? Right now, we know Google is just dominating the search industry. So if there was to be a challenger for Google search, they would have to offer an incentive. We are very familiar with this, right? Incentives are very important. So this new player would have to have, first of all, incentives or a noticeably better experience to attract users. So not only would you have to have better incentives, remember one of the 4 challenges in the industry is unsustainable incentives, right? And you also have to have a better experience, meaning you have to have efficient, sustainable user experiences, right? And over a period of long time enough to break their Googling habit. So this would take years and cost many billions with no guarantee of success. like Microsoft. Microsoft is a large institution, is one of the big three, right? However, not even they were able, because they challenged Google, right? And their loss cumulatively was at 11 billion. Remember when Microsoft came with Bing? They wanted to challenge the search engine sector. They lost 11 billion and then they moved on. They took their losses and moved on. So if Microsoft, with all the money, experience, name brand technologies, can't take out Google, good luck to any brand new company that tries to do it from scratch. So this just verifies what we've been just discussing. Once a tech company dominates an industry, a technology, it's near impossible for them to be dethroned. And the only reason why, and this is a disclaimer, the only reason why they are still around is because they kept innovating. They kept pushing the boundaries. They kept adapting. They kept just innovating, producing new things and adapting to new things, new technologies, you know? And if you don't, if you just remain stagnant, you'll be left in the dust. So these firms do face some direct competition. That's it, including from each other, like we said. But it is hard to see any of them losing their core market dominance anytime soon. So community, why are we looking at this? Why are we highlighting this? Why is this so important? Why are we mentioning all of this? Keep in mind, there are these three different technologies, right? These three different stages in technology, right? That we looked at. There was the mobile, right? The online. This is the internet in the 90s. There's the mobile in the 2000s, and now we're in the cloud-based technology. This is here right now. So keep this in mind, cloud-based technology. Whoever dominates this industry is going to dominate AI, artificial intelligence, right? Keep this in mind. Okay. I want us to look at this is all great, but let's not just rely on this one article, right? Remember we said, we spoke about the winner takes it all. We read it, we confirmed it, but let's look at it even more. Let's verify with another article here, right? Statement. So this is a tweet, very interesting. We're just briefly going to go through it, right? So we all know BlackBerry fell to Apple, right? But that's not the full story, like we said. Behind the rapid rise, there was a fatal flaw, a single decision that sparked the collapse. And here's the shocking truth. BlackBerry could have saved themselves, but they chose not to. Decisions we make today is literally going to affect us tomorrow and beyond. So this is why it's so important. Remember what we said, that you can only remain relevant if you innovate, stay ahead of things, adapt, adjust, be efficient, be sustainable, learn from your competitors. If you don't, this is the article of if you don't, right? So in January 1999, the first BlackBerry pager, right? The BlackBerry 850 was released. It was a game changer back then. This was like the latest and the greatest. So it was portable, it was wireless internet, and a unique keyboard that made emailing a breeze, right? And believe it or not, many of us are still, they're not mature, old enough, I should say, age-wise, to remember maybe. But yes, iPhone wasn't the first smartphone. There were smartphones before iPhones, right? So anyway, let's continue. So it was very revolutionary, right? It was a game changer back then. So business professionals swore by it, right? Everyone loved it. It was just a major game changer back then. However, by 2002, BlackBerry's 5810 model added calls now. Remember, you were only able to do what? To email, right? You were able to just It was portable and wireless. However, you were only able to email, right? But now, 3 years later, now you can make calls, and there are color screens now as well. And the battery life was outstanding, right? So they had gone from making phone calls, from making phones to creating a lifestyle. Does that sound familiar? Right? So this was all back then, 5 years before iPhone was even a thing. So this is the point where the smartphone king emerged. Can you imagine? BlackBerry was the smartphone king. There was a day when, or rather, there was a time where iPhone was not even a thing. Nobody even knew about. There was no iPhone, right? So the difference was clear now. BlackBerry was on top. It was on top of the hill. It was just doing amazing, fantastic. So as we see here, even the president back and President Obama was proud to carry the Blackberries. It was a big deal. It was something amazing, right? So by 2009, the company behind it, RIM Research in Motion, was Fortune's #1 fastest growing company. So not only was the company behind it the #1 fastest growing company, but its product, the BlackBerry, was just amazing, outstanding. And Apple, it was ranked 39th, and Google was ranked 68th. Keep this in mind, right? So BlackBerry was just dominating. It was untouchable, right? So they thought, at least. So fast forward to 2007, there's this young individual known as Steve Jobs, changed everything. He came and he introduced the iPhone, right? And it was sleek. It had a touch screen instead of like we saw Blackberries had buttons, and it was extremely user friendly. So it was a entire revolution, right? It revolutionized the phone industry completely, like we know. So the iPhone had features that redefined what a phone could do. You were able to listen to your music, you were able to browse, pinch in, take pictures, record, like do so many things with it beyond just making phone calls, right? So when iPhone launched, the CEO, the co-founder, grabbed his co-founder, right, at the office and pulled him in front of a computer and said, "Listen, I want you to watch this." Pointing at the webcast, right, of the iPhone. Steve Jobs did a great presentation. And then they put a full web browser on that thing, he said. These guys are really, really good, right? This is different. It's okay, we'll be fine, right? His co-founder responded. They weren't fine, as we know, because Apple did something far more powerful than BlackBerry ever anticipated, right? So to bring this point home, BlackBerry didn't see the iPhone as a threat. That's the bottom line, right? They didn't see iPhone as a threat to their core business. And they dismissed it as, it's lousy, it has a poor security, and its battery life is horrible, right? And in 2008, Apple sold 11.6 million iPhones. And 2 years later, that number jumped to over almost 21 million, right? Almost doubled the sales. So by 2011, Apple had already started chipping away from BlackBerry's market share, and the gap just grew bigger and bigger, right? Now, the solution was obvious. BlackBerry now, instead of being at the front seat, benefiting from the network effect, benefiting from the first mover advantage, now they were the ones trying to catch up now. Now they wanted to embrace the new technology. Now they wanted to catch up. The technology has been there all along, but they were reluctant. They didn't want to embrace it. And now this new kid on the block comes, not just embraces the technology, but completely revolutionizes the entire industry, right? So fast forward, BlackBerry was stuck, right? It stuck its guns to betting, and they were betting on loyal customers. Oh, they will choose us, right? Instead of the new technology, new iPhone, new mobile technology and touch screen and all that, right? Oh, were they wrong, right? Because the market share shrank from 33% in 2011. 5 years later, it was at 2.3% market share. And then 2021, BlackBerry's market share was hit zero. Why? They ignored the competition first mistake. Second, they stalled, refused to embrace the technology. So, and one thing that is even more important here that I want us to highlight is the market dominance. Market dominance was amazing right here. In 2009, BlackBerry controlled 50% of the smartphone market. 50%. Does that sound familiar? There's another technology right now that is 50%. Actually 55%. So this doesn't mean nothing. Literally, it doesn't mean much. If you're not innovative, if you don't move with the technology, with the times, you'll be left in the dust. So 50%, this has been done before. BlackBerry had 50% smart market share. 5 years later, that's not much. Just 5 years later, it was less than 1%. How do you drop from 50% market share to 1%? If you stagnate, you don't go with the times, you're not efficient, you're not sustainable, right? In 5 years, they lost it all. So what's the moral of the story? Innovation waits for no one. The touch screen tech or the technology in general already existed, but BlackBerry ignored it. And second, never underestimate your competition. Study them. Look at what they're doing great, embrace it. Look at what their challenges are, address it, right? Always look for challenges in the industry and also with other competitors, other cryptocurrencies. What are they doing great? Embrace it. What is their challenges? What are they struggling with? Add it and solve that challenge. So never underestimate your competition, right? And like the iPhone, it turned out to be a revolution, right? And loyalty fades fast if you don't evolve. So don't count on your loyal community, because if you don't move with innovation, if you don't move with the times, if you don't listen to the community, if you don't add value to them, if you don't put them at the center, loyalty has no value. It will fade, and it will fade very, very fast. So what's the takeaway here? The takeaway here is that there were successful companies that survived the dot-com bubble. And the reason why they survived was because they were willing to embrace, not just embrace the technology, but they were revolutionary. They were doing things, solving challenges that nobody seemed to be wanting to solve. Everybody was on status quo. They were comfortable with what they had. They were not listening to the competition. They were not watching the competition. They were not studying, analyzing them. They were not addressing the challenges in the industry, let alone addressing the challenges of their competitors. They were not doing all of that. They were just sitting around, not embracing or don't want to evolve, right? So this made these companies successful, and they survived the dot-com bubble. Now, for the sake of time, we're going to just focus on one. We all know the dot-com bubble history, right? In the 90s, it was a speculative bubble created by a rapid rise of interest in what? Internet companies. Does this sound familiar? We're experiencing the same thing right now, but with meme coins, right? There's a rapid growth, like 1 million this month alone. 1.2 million meme coins were created, right? Were launched. 1.2 million meme coins were launched. And out of the 1.2 million, only 0.05% actually crossed a 1 million market cap. To put it in perspective, a 0.05% is 600. So out of 1.2 million meme coins, only 600 crossed 1 million market cap. The rest were just a bunch of rug pulls and never made it outside of 1 million in market cap. So this just shows you that we are in the same speculative bubble like in the 90s right now. And it grew very, very fast, and people are interested in internet companies. Nowadays, it's not internet company. Now it's blockchain, right? So during the 5 years of leading ahead, its peak in March in 2000, many businesses were born with the primary focus on gaining market share, right? This is the whole purpose. You want to grow. This is why there's an entire site dedicated to that. It's even called CoinMarketCap, right? So everybody is fascinated with the market cap. They wanted to gain market share, right? So it's still relevant today. We see it even right now. And the theory was that out of the collection of like companies, one was bound to make it, right? Like we just discussed, the statistic 1.2 million meme coins, 600 make it above 1 million. The rest, which is 99.95%, literally are rug pulls or die out, right? And businesses and investors alike were more than willing to put their bets on the table. Does this sound familiar? Pump.fun? I mean, history repeats itself, community. Nothing is new. We've been through it in the 90s already. So this is why it's important to be informed, be educated, so that you're not gullible, you're not emotional, you think rational. We've seen all of this before, right? So getting big fast was the key to survival, right? As companies raced to acquire substantial market share, again, there's an entire site dedicated to, and they're listed based on their market caps. Same thing. So sacrificing profits along the way with an unprecedented amount of individual investing, We're not going to go through all of this. What we want to take away here is that the dot-com bubble is the result of excessive speculation on internet-related companies in the late 90s. Now, we can replace this with, instead of internet-related, blockchain-related, right? Same thing. This is all we need to take away from here. And just for the sake of time, let's go to just Amazon. Let's focus on Amazon, right? We know Amazon, founded in 1994. Amazon is now the largest online retailer in the world. Why? Because winner takes it all. If you win, you take it all of it. There is no sharing. You take it all. And we're so naive in this space. We're thinking that we're going to just be this utopia with 1 million cryptocurrencies and 1 million layer 1 blockchains, and we're going to be fine. No, the harsh reality is that there'll be a winner, and the winner will take it all, right? And the competition is fierce. So in 1995, Amazon, as we know, it started as an online bookstore, but it added all various things. And here we are today, right? And they're now offering right here. So as of November 2021, Amazon trades at over $3,000. And this is what I want us to see right here. Net income, 21 billion US dollars. This is what they earn for the year, right? And I know this is what I want us to keep in mind. Keep in mind Amazon, and keep in mind how innovative they are. Keep in mind how they survived. Right? The dot-com bubble, successfully survived it, and how winners take it all. Keep this in mind, community. Keep this in mind. And why am I choosing Amazon specifically, right? Fast forward today. Now that we've discussed all of this, that we've discussed for the last half an hour, let's come back to today. The headline today is Apple, Microsoft, and guess what? Amazon are quietly positioning for what? Crypto dominance. Why? Because winner takes it all. They've been here before. They've done it. It's nothing new. They were here already in the 80s. They're already here in the 80s. So this is nothing new. Apple's been doing this. And these two have been already, so they've benefited from this technology. They're the ones who actually took advantage of the mobile internet technology. They took advantage of the internet, they took advantage of the mobile, and now they're taking advantage of this cloud-based technology, also the blockchain technology. Well, don't take my word for it. Let's continue. So here we have major players. These major players have been there, done that. They've survived, successfully survived the dot-com bubble, right? Like we see here. And they know how to dominate markets. They know how to scale, they know how to innovate, they know how to stay ahead, they know how to win. And now they're coming to this crypto industry while natives are busy pumping meme coins, 1 million meme coins a month. They're here coming to dominate, to address challenges, to solve challenges for the long term. This is what they're here to do. So let's look at the three. So Apple already, they came in partnering with Coinbase, right? As we know. Now, Apple has this famous thing known as Apple Pay. And they are no strangers to innovation, like we've been discussing. Apple is the leader if it comes to innovation and revolutionizing industry. Apple is at the front. So they started dipping their toes by partnering with the largest US exchange. Now they're exploring cryptocurrency integration, right? So the latest collaboration with Coinbase enables Apple Pay users to purchase crypto seamlessly, right? And as right now, it's just one-way street because it's only fiat to crypto. That's what it is right now. But at least it's a great and significant leap forward, right? That's for Apple. Amazon, like we discussed, Amazon, they are on a whole different level. They're on a whole different level. And let me see here. And Amazon, reportedly, they're considering a $250 million Bitcoin purchase, right? By the end of this year. So we have, literally, we're in our first week of the year. So 3 weeks left. They should be purchasing 250 million worth of Bitcoin right now. And this speculation aligns with the updated financial accounting standards rules set to take effect in December. This is going to be a game changer here. This accounting standard rule is going to actually make institutions want to hold assets, digital assets, because now holding digital assets will count towards your revenue, right? So it will make crypto holding more favorable for corporate accounting, right? So this is exactly what also MicroStrategy is looking forward to. And all of this is going to be settled this month, right? It's taking effect this month. So Amazon's connection to crypto isn't new. Now, this is where it really gets interesting. The company previously purchased blockchain-related domain names. Now, I wonder what's the name. If you're curious about the domain name, look what the domain name is: AmazonEthereum.org. Stirring excitement over potential blockchain projects. If Amazon takes the leap, it could become the first FANG stock to publicly declare Bitcoin holdings. Ironically, they're talking about Bitcoin holdings, but the domain name they purchased is Ethereum. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's see, what is FANG? FANG stands for Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google, right? So these are the 5 dominating tech companies. And amongst them, Amazon is going to really be at the forefront, right? So let's go back here. AmazonEthereum.org. Remember what we said here, community. Always keep this in mind. Cloud-based technology. This is where the name of the game is right now. We are already done with online. This is the internet. This is back in the 90s. We are done with mobile. We already have it. This is in the 2000s. This is old. We are now in the cloud-based technologies. And the blockchain technology. Without cloud-based technology, there is no blockchain technology, right? Because you need that, right? You need that to operate. And you'll realize why, including us. Our staking platform is also, we're using this cloud-based services to operate our staking platform as well. So it plays a major role, especially with Ethereum. And we're going to, and this is exactly what you see here. Don't take my word for it. So if we remove Amazon and only take this, I wonder where we will get. Let's, just out of curiosity. Surprise, surprise. This is the official Ethereum website, right? If you remove Amazon and just take the ethereum.org, it brings you straight to Ethereum, right? Welcome to Ethereum. This is the official website. Leading platform for innovation, innovative apps, and blockchain networks. This is where, if you want to partner with Ethereum, if you want to do everything regards to infrastructure, development, this is their website. Now, why does Amazon buy this blockchain related domain name? Why not Amazon Bitcoin.org? Why Ethereum? Why Ethereum? You don't have to be a genius to connect the dots, right? And don't worry, we'll go through this together. We'll find out why. So before we answer that question, just for the sake of being fair, Microsoft as well, right? Microsoft's $5 trillion a Bitcoin blueprint. We all know that in a high-speed pitch that he had 3 minutes to pitch to the board of directors at Michael Saylor did. Michael Saylor had 3 minutes to pitch do a 3-minute presentation to Microsoft, right? And he urged Microsoft to go all in on Bitcoin. So he outlined how converting Microsoft's cash flow, dividends, and buybacks into Bitcoin could add $5 trillion to their market cap, right? This will surpass both Apple and Nvidia. And guess what they're trying to do here? Keep this in mind. They're here to eat each other's lunch. They're not here to play fair, to hold hands and sing kumbaya. They're here to dominate, right? And once a company dominates a technology market, it is almost impossible to displace them, like we saw, right? So it's very, very competitive. These people are competitive, very competitive. So keep this in mind. But once the company achieves clear market leadership, it's almost impossible to displace. Keep this in mind. So now that we understand that, we'll realize that they're each trying to find a competitive edge. They each try to outdo each other, right? So anyway, the Bitcoin skyrocketed, fueled by the ETFs, like we said, private companies, and even federal endorsements, like we know. It's been all about Bitcoin. Since exactly 1 month from today, it's been all one street, right? One-way street. It's all been about Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. And this could be the most significant opportunity for the tech giant to solidify its dominance. Does this sound familiar? This just verifies what we just read. They're here to dominate, right? Since the 60s, IBM, they're still dominating. Microsoft, Intel, they're still dominating, right? And we see all of this. So they're here to dominate. They're not here to play fair. They're here to take over. So let's go back to Amazon, because it's Amazon that has the domain name ethereum.org. Why do they have this name? This is what is going to happen. This is what's happening, community. Amazon, or AWS, Amazon Web Services, they're the market leaders by far. Don't take my word for it. Let's look at some numbers. Remember what we saw here. What is booming? What is important here is that we already did the mobile, the online, the mobile, now in the cloud-based technology. Keep this in mind. And what are they doing? This is AWS. What are they about? They're about cloud services. This is what they're about. Amazon's cloud computing. This is what they do. So this is the latest article, just 2 days ago. Amazon, they declared that what? They're leaning into AI. What a surprise. They want to be more efficient and sustainable. Don't take my word for it. Amazon's cloud computing subsidiary has signed a deal with Orbital Materials and made infrastructure updates. Now it makes sense why they chose this domain. Now I think we can all agree why. They are focusing on infrastructure. And if you take this domain right here, just remove Amazon, take this, where do you get? To the place where it's all about infrastructure. This is all about infrastructure. This is not for you and me to come here. This won't help us unless you are an Amazon and you want to work on infrastructure. You want to build apps. You want to really be the back end of things, not the front user, not the end user. You build infrastructures. Community, this is the reason why Amazon chose AmazonEthereum.org. It's because they want to build infrastructure for Ethereum. They're already leading in the computing, cloud computing. They're already leading in this aspect. Like we said, online is behind, mobile is behind. Now, if you want to dominate in AI, you need cloud-based technology. Again, don't take my word for it. Web services leans on AI because their cloud computing is all about AI. And to do AI and to do cloud computing, you need infrastructure and you need to update it to boost data centers, what? Sustainability and efficiency. Keep in mind, they want a competitive edge. And why are they moving so fast? First of all, let's see something. They are dominating by far. How are they dominating? They're dominating cloud computing, right? They have 2.4 million businesses. They are buying Amazon's web service cloud computing services. How are they dominating? 50%. 50%. And they are 50%. Google is 28%. And then Microsoft is 20%. They don't want to lose this lead. They want to actually even expand. So while everybody's mesmerized by Michael Saylor and everybody's just focusing on Bitcoin hitting 100,000 and beyond and wanting a Bitcoin strategy, Amazon is acquiring a domain name, wanting to be and collaborating with Orbit Materials because they want to work on Ethereum infrastructure, making it more sustainable and efficient using the cloud computing services. Don't take my word for it, because you might say, oh, Steve, you're reading too much in between the lines. You're reading too much in between the lines, right? But what are they doing here? They want this access, according to AWS, Amazon Web Services, can accelerate the development of breakthrough sustainability technologies. They want to be efficient and sustainable, right? They want a breakthrough sustainability technology. They go further and say that by integrating Orb with other Amazon products, they will enable sustainable innovation more widely. Why they keep talking about sustainability all the time in efficiency, sustainability, and here again, they want to set a new benchmark for efficiency across industries. So they're not here to just, okay, let's dip our toes into cryptocurrency. They want to take over. They're here to come in and take over, and they're starting with infrastructure. this is what they are dominating already. They're already dominating. They have a 50% market share in cloud computing. So this is something they're very comfortable with. This is something they're very familiar with, and they want to be more efficient. So they want to upgrade their cooling systems to be what? More efficient. And they're also going to these new systems are going to estimate it. They're going to cut energy consumption by 46%. So they're really backing what they're saying. They want to be efficient. They want to be sustainable. Does this sound familiar? If you focus on sustainability and efficiency, guess what you do? The winner takes it all. Keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. So now that we understand that they're here to be more sustainable, efficient, and they secured already a domain, Ethereum domain, and they're also focusing on infrastructure. Like we see even in this article, is clearly saying that what they're really focusing on is infrastructure updates. They want to update infrastructure to be more sustainable and efficient. And cloud-based services are all about nodes. To stake Ethereum, you have to have your own nodes. So this is why they already have the infrastructure. Oh, Steve, you're taking it too far. Now that we know that 50% dominance, they want to be into infrastructure. They want to update to boost sustainability and efficiency. To have your own nodes, that's required for Ethereum staking. You need cloud services. And to dominate in AI, you need cloud computing as well. And they are already dominating the market by 50%. Google is right behind them at 28%, and Microsoft is with 20%. They're not going to let down. They're going to push down the gas pedal even further. So now, Bitcoin is already taken, right? Michael Saylor and BlackRock, they're dominating Bitcoin. Michael Saylor with MicroStrategy, he buys billions of dollars nearly every week, right? BlackRock, they already have the largest ETF, Bitcoin ETF. So Bitcoin is taken already. And while everybody is mesmerized and actually completely blindsided, right, by what's coming, they are building and working on infrastructure. They already secured, like we said, the domain name and all that. So what's next? This is what's next. Amazon is the 4th largest right now. Like we said, Bitcoin is taken. Literally, Bitcoin is driven by institutions, right? They are taken by BlackRock and MicroStrategy, right? They're gone. And of course, JP Morgan. So Amazon is sitting here in the 4th place with Google breathing down their necks, and Microsoft, Nvidia, and Apple way ahead of them. And they're in a predicament right now. They have a dilemma. And that dilemma is a good dilemma. How good is it, Steve? Let's look at how great that dilemma is. They have a problem right now. They have a challenge. I like to look at it as a challenge, because for every challenge, there's a solution. Find a solution for that challenge. So Jeff Bezos, 24 years ago, like we said, he almost ran out of cash, but now he has a new challenge. He's about to sit on $400 billion in cash, right? And this will be as much cash as Apple and Microsoft combined. Who is Microsoft and Apple? Apple is the number 1, Microsoft is number 3, Amazon is number 4. They're about to have more cash than number 1 and number 3 combined, and they need to invest this, and they want to dominate, they want to take over. So what are they going to do? So Jeff Bezos, Amazon, once nearly ran out of cash 24 years ago during the dot-com bubble. Like we just discussed, they survived the dot-com bubble, right? It was once reported left with 10 months of cash, right? With its stock at $7. Now their stock is at 3,500. So anyway, fast forward to today, Amazon is expected to have nearly as much cash on its balance sheet. And we're talking about cash, community. This is cash. Rivals Apple as rivals Apple and Microsoft combined. So by 2027, Amazon is getting ready to have more cash than the largest company in the world and the third largest company in the world combined. They're getting ready by 2027. So within 2 years, Amazon is about to have a $400 billion in cash. As we speak, they already have more cash than them, right? Amazon is projected to amass 127 billion in cash and short-term investments by the end of the year. So we're already at the end of the year. So Amazon already has more cash than anybody else. They have more cash than the giants Google and Microsoft, which stand at Google has 112, let's say 113 billion, and Microsoft has 109. So they have, even right now, they have more than 15 billion more than the second, than Microsoft. But in 2027, within 2 years, Amazon's cash reserves are expected to be approaching 400 billion. This is a great challenge to have, right? Especially if it's a significant shift, because for a company traditionally focused on what? Reinvesting rather than cash accumulator. So their business model with web services, like we say, this is the new technology. They're generating so much revenue because this whole AI movement and cloud services, this blockchain technology needs it. All the staking, all these infrastructures, like we see, require cloud computing. Even Ethereum is using AWS. They're using it, right, as we speak. So this is why they acquired, like we see here, Amazon Ethereum.org, because they're into infrastructure and they want to update it to be more sustainable and efficient. This is the whole plan. This is the whole idea, right? And they have a challenge. They'll be sitting on 400 billion in cash and they don't know what to do with it. So that's a challenge, but it's a good challenge to have. So of course, they're not one of the largest companies by mistake. Of course, they already know what to do with it because they've been through the dot-com bubble. They survived it. They came out of it. They're dominating the cloud computing services. Why not? And since Bitcoin is already taken and it's also breathing down their necks, and they have an opportunity now they have more cash than Apple and Microsoft combined, what's the next thing to do? This takes us to this next step. So Bernstein believes Ethereum ETF staking yield is likely to be approved under crypto-friendly Trump 2.0 SEC. So Bernstein is an analytical company, right? And they believe that Ethereum ETF staking yield is going to be approved because there'll be more friendly regulators, more friendly SEC under Trump. Now, if we read a little bit further, so like we said, they're analysts and said that despite ETH's underperformance this year, its fundamentals look strong. It's all about fundamentals. And that in the short term, Ethereum is underperforming. In the short term, nobody even talks about Ethereum. It's all about Bitcoin right now. And that's okay. That's fine, right? So its fundamentals still looking good, and the risk-reward ratio is now attractive. So the potential for staking yields to be approved for spot Ethereum exchange-traded funds under Trump, the recent inflection in ETF inflows, like we see lately, Ethereum ETFs have been having positive inflows. Last Friday, it even had more inflows than the counterparties Bitcoin, right? And they've been having positive inflows. With they, I mean Ethereum spot ETFs, right? They've been having positive inflows lately. So favorable demand supply dynamics and a surge in activity on the blockchain were outlined as factors driving a revival of interest. So, like we said, we don't always just take their words for it. Let's identify, let's verify all of this. So staking yields, right, should be approved on the spot Ethereum exchange traded funds. Let's start with that. And then we'll come back to blockchain activity on the blockchain, right? Let's verify all of this. So Trump has tapped Paul Atkins for next SEC chair, making good on his crypto promises. Great, right? So this is great. So if we have a more positive and crypto-friendly Trump administration at the SEC, Ethereum staking is going to be yield staking is going to be approved, right? So let's verify that. This is good. So Trump just tapped Paul Atkins for the next SEC chair. Atkins has been vocal in his support for the industry, right? So this looks good. It looks great. But let's look at other articles. So President-elect Trump taps crypto-friendly former regulator Paul Atkins. This is great. So now we have a crypto-friendly regulator to lead the SEC. So what Bernstein is saying, they must know something that we don't know, right? But now it's public information. So now we know what Bernstein knows, right? But this article was from December 2nd. So they knew it before today, before it was official, right? Because this was posted December 3rd. So like we said, these analytics companies, this is Wall Street, they always know things before we know, before it's public. Remember how we started this session today? The key is identify things, see things before it's mainstream. So they already knew this a day before. They knew it on the 2nd, and the article didn't come out until the next day. So they already knew things before we did. So the trick is, if you can anticipate something, you see things happening before they hit mainstream, that's exactly what you want. Address challenges before people even know that there are challenges. Move steps ahead before people even speculate or talk about it. What a chess move by Amazon. Ethereum is not being talked about. Nobody even is looking at Ethereum right now. Everybody's focusing so much on Bitcoin, but they're busy securing domain names for Ethereum. They're busy working on infrastructure, updating it, being more sustainable and efficient for Ethereum. They're already dominating the cloud computing industry by 50%. They're already ahead of their competitors, Google and Microsoft. And their biggest challenge is that they're getting ready to sit on 400 billion, right? And Bernstein, they already knew this ahead of time. So this just tells us Ethereum ETF staking is getting ready to be approved. That's the bottom line, community. It's getting ready to be approved. We have a pro crypto, very friendly SEC, future SEC commissioner, and also it's confirmed by Trump himself. I am delighted to announce the nomination of Paul Atkins to be the next chairman of the Security and Exchange Commission, right? Paul is a proven leader for common sense regulations. We lack a lot of common sense, right? Finally, it's good to have somebody with common sense leading the SEC. So this is great, right? So he believes in the promise of robust, innovative capital markets that are responsive to the needs of investors and provide capital to make our economy the best in the world, right? He also recognizes that digital assets and other innovations are crucial to making America greater than ever before. And we see here, we've been there before. These are all innovations. In the 60s, this was an innovation. The 80s were innovations, 90s, 2000, And now here we are, fast forward, and we are in a new era right now. This is a brand new era that we're in. It's all about cloud computing, blockchain technology. And here we are right now. What are we going to do? Uncle Larry here is busy explaining how he believes that tokenization is a technological transformation for the financial assets. He's getting ready to tokenize everything, starting with his own ETFs. He already has the largest gold ETF in the world. He has the largest Bitcoin ETF in the world. And now he's dabbling into tokenizing all of that. Why is he so keen on tokenizing everything? It's because he understands that the name of the game is liquidity. He's in the liquidity business because through liquidity is earning transaction fees. So the deeper your liquidity is, the more transaction fees you earn. And there's only one pool, and that pool is called IBIT. And that pool is where all the liquidity is for ETFs. And this ETF pool is large. It's extremely large, right? And let's see how large it is. So combined, it's surpassed 6% right now. So combined, they have almost 1.3 million Bitcoin. And IBIT, right? It's called IBIT. This is the liquidity pool. This is BlackRock's liquidity pool. And this liquidity pool has 2.5% of all Bitcoin in circulation. Over 500,000 Bitcoin that just BlackRock alone has. They're sitting on over $50 billion worth of Bitcoin, right? Over 50 billion. That's their liquidity pool. That's their liquidity pool. They have one liquidity pool known as IBIT. Now let's look at our liquidity pool on centralized exchanges. It's sitting at 2.5 billion. 2.5 billion after 16 years. Here they come, and in 11 months, they're sitting on almost $52 billion liquidity pool. And it's one liquidity pool. And this liquidity pool is called IBIT, and it's on the NASDAQ exchange. One exchange. It's not on 26 different blockchains and on 50 different exchanges. Why don't we understand this? There's a reason why BlackRock is the #1 asset manager in the world. This is because they're on one exchange. That's it. This is what our industry has not understood yet. We want to be on 50 different exchanges. We want to be on 100 different blockchains. This is why we don't understand that we're in the business of liquidity. Look how many exchanges just Bitcoin is. Look how many. Look how segmented it is. This is not efficient at all. It's segmented. How can you be on so many different exchanges, let alone have so many different liquidity pools? Learn from the best. And the best is sitting on one exchange, and they have one liquidity pool. And this is why they're the #1 in the world. We need to understand that. And this is why we also do the same. We are listed on Uniswap. We have one liquidity pool. We are retaining liquidity on that one exchange. And this is exactly what the best of the best is doing. So why reinvent the wheel? If the best is has one liquidity pool and is on one exchange, why should we be on 10 exchanges, 20 exchanges? It's inefficient. And that's why Uniswap has decided to pack their bags and remove themselves from 26 different blockchains and 1 million liquidity pools, and they want to create Unichain so that they can have one liquidity pool and be on one exchange on one blockchain. Do you get the idea, community? So this industry is still very inefficient, very unsustainable, But thanks to Amazon, we are getting ready to have sustainability and efficiency and solid infrastructure on our side. They already secured their domain name, Amazon Ethereum. They're getting ready to take over the industry, the staking industry. That's a given, right? Bernstein said once we have crypto-friendly regulators in the SEC, Ethereum is going to get approved. They say this December 2nd, December 3rd, like we saw here. It's surprise, surprise. Now it's a fact, right? They knew something before we knew it. And fast forward today, Larry's talking about tokenizing technology, transforming all of this. Why are we mentioning him wanting to tokenize everything? Why is this the financial asset? Why is this the future? Larry needs solid infrastructure, and Larry is into they have Ethereum ETFs as well. And before, now that Ethereum staking is getting ready to be approved, he needs infrastructure, and that infrastructure needs to be solid, and it shouldn't be done by some amateur anonymous devs somewhere in the world, but it should be done by a publicly traded, highly regulated, experienced institution. And Amazon fits that bill. And they're already dominating the computing business. And to stake Ethereum, you need nodes. Nodes need cloud computing. Amazon is dominating that industry by over 50%. And they have 400 billion sitting around doing nothing. Now, what do? They have an infrastructure of computing. Ethereum staking is being approved. Okay, what? And Larry Fink needs a solid. They can't stake it. They can't own those assets. So Larry Fink is going to take use Amazon infrastructures and computing services to do all the staking for him. He's not just going to buy ETH. He already has the ETFs. They're going to be approved. And in order to get the staking yield, he needs infrastructure. Guess what? Amazon is like, hey, we got you. We have you backed, and we have everything. We have the cloud services. We have the experience. With the market dominates. We dominate the market. We are way ahead, and we already have the domain set up. We already have the cloud computer infrastructure lined up. We already have everything lined up for you, Larry. Don't worry about it, right? Go ahead, start pumping ETH, buy ETH. We have you covered. Once regulations are cleared, ETH yield is going to be approved, right? So this is what Michael Saylor is saying. He's predicting a $280 trillion Bitcoin market cap, right? That's a huge market cap. Right now, Bitcoin is at 2 trillion. So that means 240x from here. And all of this will need computing power. All of this will need a lot of stable coins as well. So what is Bitcoin paired with? Bitcoin is paired with the US dollar. So, and who has the deepest liquidity pool in terms of treasuries? Because USDC stablecoins and stablecoins in general have to be paired or backed rather with US debt. And who has the deepest debt liquidity fund for US debt? It is, and this is how we're going to close, right? So before we move on, Amazon is getting ready to take over the industry, and they're starting with infrastructure. They already have the domain set up. They're already dominating by 50% by far, and they don't want to be squeezed in between here, between Google breathing down their necks, and even though they have Apple and Microsoft, more cash in hand than Apple and Microsoft. So they're going to put their money to work, and they're going to take this money and put it into infrastructure. This is not news yet, but as always, let's be the first to talk about it. So because right now everybody's too busy mesmerized with what MicroStrategy is doing and what BlackRock is doing. And everybody's talking about how Ethereum is dead, right? Nobody is really paying attention to Ethereum right now. The only person paying attention to Ethereum and already secured their domain name is Amazon. And they are getting ready to jump on and take over. And once they take over, they're going to be dominate. They're already dominating cloud computing. And they're going to completely take over. And even Apple is using AWS, like we said. They're already using it. And now Amazon is also creating their own chip. They're developing their own chip that Apple is using. So they're direct competition with NVIDIA. And theirs is way faster. So they have faster chips, and these faster chips will be available in 2025. They're developing them themselves. So not only will they have more cash than Apple and Microsoft combined, but they're creating faster chips than NVIDIA is. What do you think Amazon is here to do? What's the topic of today's session? The winner takes it all. They're getting ready. They picked their horse, and their horse is Ethereum. Don't take my word for it. This is their domain. They already purchased it, right? They already purchased blockchain-related domain name, and it's Amazon Ethereum. They already said they want to get into infrastructure. They're already dominating the cloud computing industry by over 50%. And they already have 400 billion in cash sitting around. So they have the money, they have the infrastructure. They chose their blockchain of choice, Ethereum. And we have a favorable crypto-friendly president and a crypto-friendly SEC. Now Ethereum is staking ETF is going to be approved. What do you think is getting ready to happen? Now this brings us to the final. Let's close with this. So whenever there's a challenge, there's already an answer. Always solve a challenge, community. Always come with a solution. Look for challenges and then solve them. Okay, what's the challenge? One supposedly good thing about financial crisis is that when the smoke clears, the loose ends that helped cause the problem are tied up once and for all, right? Unfortunately, no. We tend to do the same mistake all over and over and over. We never learn, right? We never learn. And we saw this, like we saw here during the dot-com bubble. We saw how things are repeating themselves, and we see similarities like we discussed and read in this article. Remember how we discussed this article? How it was identical, basically. It was like you can just replace internet with blockchain and it's identical, right? So the dot-com bubble, it shares result excessive speculation of internet-related companies. Replace internet-related with blockchain-related companies. And it's exactly the same thing 35 years ago. So this is why we say this challenge, we need to learn from it, right? So the implosion of the SVB Financial and 3 other mid-sized US banks in March was such an opportunity, right? So like we always say, find a challenge and then come up with an opportunity. Turn it into an opportunity. This is exactly what they're saying. That was an opportunity to solve the challenge, but they missed it, right? And what's the challenge? Let's get to the challenge. The challenge is that paper deficits represent the hit that a bank would take if it sold something it currently owns at the market price. What do banks buy? What do they invest in? An example would be bonds. Banks purchase bonds, right? They purchase these bonds from the government, and then that's how government prints money, and banks now flood the market with money. So banks purchase short-term bonds whose value falls as interest rate rises. So interest rates, as they go up, the value fall. So they have to remain low. If there is no market price, banks can base the valuation on other market input. But what we need to understand here is that if the lender has the intent and ability to hold the investment until it matures, usually it matures between 3 months to 6 months to 1 year. So these are short-term treasury, but most of them are even up to 5 years or 10 years, right? So the unrealized losses remain theoretical. So the challenge here is the unrealized losses. Let's get it even more clearer. Sometimes reality intrudes, like it showed in this bank that went belly up. So the California lender had unrealized losses on government bonds and mortgage-backed securities, equivalent to a large part of its capital. So when depositors suddenly wiped out their cash, so if you and I go to our local bank and try to cash out, it will cause a bank run. Banks don't hold that much cash. So that's the challenge, community. And because these banks had to dump bonds, creating actual losses. So because they don't have enough cash, they have to now sell the bonds prematurely to get onto cash. And now they're creating losses. So this is the challenge. So to avoid a future repeat, yet banks continue to pile up losses that do not impact their earnings. So this is the challenge that we're facing right now. Banks are sitting on bonds that mature in 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, but they're at a loss. And if there's a sudden run on the bank by the retailers, you and I, these banks crash. And this is a challenge. Now, no, don't worry. BlackRock has the solution. BlackRock has us covered. So this is exactly why BlackRock came up with this institutional digital liquidity fund. What is it? It's consistent with liquidity and stability of principle. So what it does is it's investing in yield, but tokenized treasury bills. So remember, the challenge is that banks are not liquid. They have to sit on these bonds, this debt, until they mature. They don't mature immediately. They mature within 6 months, 1 year, sometimes even longer. And this is a challenge. But now BlackRock came with the brilliant ideas like, how about we do this? We come up with a BUIDL token. We launch this BUIDL token on Ethereum. And then once we do that, what we do is we are the ones taking responsibility to purchase US debt on your behalf. And you can now, and then we pair that token with USDC stablecoin. So now we are giving you a yield of 4.5%, and we're paying you in BUIDL token, which accumulates this 4.5% every day, and we pay you every month. We pay you on a monthly basis. We pay you out 4.5% on a monthly basis. And if you want to cash out, you can cash out and you get your USDC. And this is a genius idea. Now, banks don't have to wait 6 months, 1 year to be liquid and dump their bonds prematurely and accumulate losses. Because now they have the BUIDL token that they're earning 4.5%. They're being paid every month in BUIDL token, which accumulates more which accumulates more rewards, USDC, for them. And whenever they need to liquidate, they can instantly liquidate, get the USDC, and if the clients want to withdraw, bam, it's available for them to withdraw. Problem solved. So imagine how many financial institutions are getting ready to invest in this fund, earning 4.5% by BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, highly regulated, very much trusted, and they're investing in the same products that they are investing right now, but now they're getting paid every month and they're liquid, and they don't have to fear the challenge of having to dump their bonds prematurely and accumulate losses. Do you see what we're doing here? They're solving the liquidity challenge. These are one of the 4 challenges that we are solving as a community: lack of liquidity. They're also solving the inflation challenge by they're paying out not in BUIDL token, they're paying you out in USDC. And then they're also solving the unsustainable rewards, like inefficient, unsustainable USDC distributions, literally. How are they doing that? They're purchasing US bonds because they can afford to just hold it. They can sit on it. They don't intend to sell it instantly. Nobody's cashing out. And because they're paying their investors 4.5% in USDC anyway, every month, they are liquid. So their major clients are going to be banks. This is why, community, it's amazing that we have a crypto-friendly in the SEC commissioner, because they're going to ensure that all these regulations, crypto-friendly former regulator, they're going to put in place stablecoin, custody, all these regulations that will allow banks to deal with stablecoins, to deal with cryptocurrencies. In this way, they'll be able to invest in BlackRock's BUIDL token on Ethereum, purchase treasury bills through BUIDL, and 4.5%, same as they would purchasing treasury bills, but the difference is they're getting paid every month, and they don't have to worry about a bank run anymore like SVB did. And they can't do that right now, and this is why AWS already secured their domain for Ethereum, working together with the Ethereum network to build infrastructure like we saw here. They're into cloud computing. They want to build infrastructure that is sustainable and efficient. And they have the funds to back it, 400 billion in cash. So they have all the money in the world to create the most sustainable and efficient infrastructure on Ethereum, so that BlackRock and Larry Fink can be happy and confident as they are working on tokenizing everything on Ethereum, right? So this is exactly what's happening. So while everybody's too carried away focusing on, and we are happy for Bitcoin, of course. We are very happy for Bitcoin. And it's Bitcoin's time to shine. But keep in mind, while everybody's carried away and blindsided, Ethereum is being upgraded to be efficient, sustainable by the market leader in cloud computing. And they successfully survived the dot-com bubble. And they're dominating the cloud computing area. And they chose Ethereum to be their house, their home of choice. They already secured the domain. They're already into infrastructure. They're already paired with the market leader, Orbital Materials, to work on infrastructure and update it so it's sustainable and efficient. They have nodes in place so that they can stake and be validators for Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is now going to have all this volume. And what will that do to Ethereum? Already now, Ethereum is almost back to deflationary. Almost. It's going sideways now. Now, what about if trillions of dollars in a quadrillion-dollar market industry consistently comes on Ethereum like it is right now, infrastructures are being put in place, it will turn Ethereum all the way over here to deflationary. Now, Ethereum is also will be giving you a 5% interest, similar to this, but the difference is stable coins, I mean, US dollar is inflationary, but Ethereum now will be deflationary. Now you're getting the same percentage of an asset that is actually deflationary and that is extremely liquid and that is backed by the largest, and this has the potential to turn Amazon to be completely the leader because they have more cash than Apple and Microsoft combined. They're making more efficient, more sustainable chips than Nvidia is. And Apple actually is using their services, the cloud services. Ethereum now is the number one. They're building infrastructure on top of Ethereum, meaning that every other blockchain is going to use their services. They're going to be so efficient, and they're taking over the entire node and staking infrastructure, because this is exactly what Bernstein said. He believes that Ethereum ETF staking, yield staking, is getting ready to take over. Once that takes place, Ethereum is going to be similar with this BUIDL product. The only difference is Ethereum will be a deflationary and decentralized asset where you don't have to have somebody hold your asset for you. With Ethereum, since it's decentralized, institutions such as these institutions, they'll be able to hold their own assets in their own cold wallets. They won't have to give it to Coinbase like they have to do that with Bitcoin. They'll be able to hold their own because it's decentralized. They can have it in their own wallet, and they are smart contracts. So this is the message for today, community. How is that affecting us directly? It's because a rising tide lifts all boats. It's because once Ethereum is deflationary, once the infrastructures are set, once Amazon start offering yield staking on Ethereum, guess what that's going to do? All these billions of dollars that we see going to Bitcoin ETF, guess where they're going to be traded, or they are being traded? Uncle Larry is telling us here. All these ETFs, they're going to be tokenized, and they'll transform financial assets. So all that trading is taking place right here. And what is right here? It's on Ethereum, right? It's on Ethereum. You see how the blue, Ethereum is dominating, but even Polygon, Avalanche, and Optimism have a small share, but they're all running on Ethereum. So Ethereum is completely dominating the entire bond market, the entire tokenization market. And Ethereum also will be issuing 4 to 5% yield on a deflationary asset. So think about that. Let's enjoy and clap for Bitcoin right now. It deserves all the highlight right now, but it's a destruction, because the real deal, the real major news that is about to come and hit everybody by surprise is this, what we've been discussing today, is that Amazon is getting ready to dominate cloud computing, backing Ethereum, so that Ethereum has a solid infrastructure that is more sustainable and efficient. This will help Larry Fink to fulfill his life's goal to have all these tokenized assets on a solid infrastructure. It will also enable Ethereum ETF staking without flaw, and Amazon is going to take the lead in all of that. And this will benefit Ethereum, because Ethereum now will have enough volume transactions to become deflationary, and it will do what US dollar is doing, with treasury bills are doing, but with a deflationary asset, not with a inflationary asset. And it be complementary. Ethereum is not competing with the US dollar. Ethereum is a technology. So it's not in competition with the US dollar. And the good news is that Ethereum paired with the US dollar. The better Ethereum is doing, the better Bitcoin is doing, the better the US dollar will be in demand, in particular USDC. And this BlackRock liquidity fund is paired with USDC. Last community event, we discussed how MasterCard, Visa, Swift, all of them are pairing with USDC, right? And like we saw here as well, USDC is busy accumulating. They're busy accumulating. They're being listed to rule. They're being compliant in various nations. So we see that everything is falling in line for us, community. Things are working for our good. And let us know this ahead of time. Keep in mind, just like Bernstein, they were one day ahead of everybody else, right? They already told us that we'll get a crypto-friendly SEC commissioner. One day later, it is literally, we hear that Trump is appointing a crypto-friendly issuer. News, information, knowledge is power, literally. And that's the difference between those who succeed and those who fail. If you wait until this hits mainstream, this is old. So Bernstein, they already told their clients about this and they already made the moves. So now everybody else coming yesterday and today and tomorrow, Bernstein's clients, they're already positioned. Same with our community. We already anticipate reading between the lines, looking forward, understanding what's happening before it hits mainstream. So we already know what's coming. We already know that we're not blinded by all this news, oh, MicroStrategy this, Michael Saylor that, Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. We know what's happening. Amazon is getting ready to take over the infrastructure on Ethereum. They already secured their domain. They're going to support Ethereum staking ETFs. They're working together with BlackRock in partnership. Ethereum is going to be back to deflationary. It's going to pay out between 4 to 5% yield. A deflationary asset, it will be a more attractive investment for institutions. There'll be a rollover from Bitcoin ETFs over to Ethereum ETFs because Bitcoin doesn't give you any yield. You don't earn any yield from Bitcoin, but you earn yield from Ethereum. And another thing is that since Amazon chose and is heavily invested in the infrastructure for Ethereum, they're not going to invest in Bitcoin only. Actually, they're going to invest and stake Ethereum. And remember how I told you at the beginning of this session, I told you to keep in mind one thing. Remember how I told us to keep in mind one thing. And I wanted us to understand one thing. Remember how it said that Amazon was earning 21 billion in a year. Remember that? Okay. Jeff, they'll be having 400 billion. 400 billion. So let's just finish with this. This is the last thing. We know we have to do the math. So let's say out of the 400 billion in cash, and now that they're investing in a deflationary asset and they can earn 5%, and the more transactions, the higher the interest, right? The more transactions, the higher the interest. So it will be at least 5% or above. And you earning it in a deflationary asset like Ethereum. So if they take, let's say they take half of it, just half of it, 200 billion, 5% of 2 billion, 200 billion is 10 billion in passive income. Right now, we read that they were actually earning 200%. They're actually earning 21 billion. Let's look at it. I want you to see it. Net income, 21 billion. This is what they're earning from all their services. Amazon is earning from all their services, 21 billion annually. Now, they have 400 billion in cash. They have to invest it somewhere. But just to be fair, without even going all out, just half of it, 200 billion, in staking, buying 200 billion worth of Ethereum. Now, keep in mind, Ethereum's market cap right now is 400 billion. So half of it, buying Ethereum and staking it and earning 5% on a deflationary asset, that's 10 billion annually passive income. Right now, they are earning 21, like we saw. They're earning 21 a year. So just by building this infrastructure, they already chose Ethereum. That's their winning horse. They have 400 billion sitting around. If they just take 200 billion of it and decide to stake it on the existing infrastructure that they already have, they'll be earning 10 billion passively, and they earn 10 billion on a deflationary asset, meaning its price is increasing by the day, versus US dollar that is actually, yes, you're earning 4.5%, but US dollar is inflationary. So Ethereum will naturally be a more favorable, more investment. Guess who said that? Guess who said that? Analyst Bernstein said, despite its underperformance this year, its fundamentals look strong. We just saw how strong it is. And the risk-reward ratio is now attractive. Why? Because yes, it's volatile. However, it's a deflationary asset. The infrastructure is backed by Amazon, which will be the largest company in the space. Its liquidity fund is managed by BlackRock. Its assets, ETFs, its assets are owned literally by JP Morgan. So the largest asset managers, banks, financial institutions are all on it. We saw how Visa, MasterCard, they all chose Ethereum, Swift, they're all on Ethereum. So this is exactly what they said. So the potential for staking yields to be approved for ETH exchange-traded funds are under Trump are favorable, right? And the demand-supply dynamics and surge in activity on the blockchain. So now we looked at staking yields. This is approved. They're going to be approved. We have a pro-crypto SEC commissioner. And activity on the blockchain also done. We have Amazon doing the infrastructure, and we have Uncle Larry wanting to deploy all the tokenized assets on Ethereum. So we are going to get activity. We're going to get liquidity. We're going to get volume. We have the solid infrastructure. We have all the payment systems like Swift, MasterCard, Visa, PayPal. All of them are already on Ethereum. And while in the background, we're being distracted. Let's focus on the price, and let's understand what's coming. And our ecosystem is going to benefit heavily from this, because we are focusing on efficiency, sustainability. We are addressing these 4 challenges in the industry. Lack of liquidity. This is why we're retaining liquidity. Inflation. This is why our supply is scarce, right? We started with 1 million, now we're down to 965. We are addressing challenges. Keep in mind, what's today's topic? Winner takes all. And we've seen it. We've seen IBM do it in the 60s. We've seen Microsoft and Intel do it in the 80s. We saw Google do it, and Amazon, they did it in the 90s. We saw Apple do it in 2007. Now fast forward 2024. Do you want to be part of winner takes all, or do you want to be part of the million meme tokens and only 0.05% make it to even over 1 million in market cap? Ask yourself, what challenges are you solving? Do you really even understand what challenges that we have in the industry? Like we said, lack of liquidity, inflation, unsustainable staking distributions, and inefficient use of volume. Are you using your volume efficiently? If you retain liquidity, naturally you'll have a lot of volume. You have to be in the business of liquidity. Who taught us that? They did, right? They did. How did they do? By having one liquidity pool known as IBIT. And they're traded on one exchange known as NASDAQ. Look at the mess we're in the crypto industry. We're in a mess, inefficiency, unsustainability, just fragmented. We are on 1,000 different exchanges. We have 1,000 different liquidity pools, and at least Uniswap understood that. They're on 26 different chains. They're like, let's stop all this madness. We need one pool, we need one chain, and we need one place to accumulate that. And that's the game plan of the largest asset manager in the world. They're on one exchange, not on 20, not even on 2, on 1. And they have one liquidity pool, just one. And this is why they're sitting on 52 billion liquidity. And this is why they're leading. They're holding 2.5% of all the Ethereum, all the Bitcoin. They did that in 11 months. Why? Because they focus on one exchange and one liquidity pool. That's the trick, community. So with that said, community, let me come back to you. Let me check your comments real quick. Today's session has been extremely long. There has been a lot to be covered, but I'm glad that these sessions are being recorded, so we can just go through it at our leisure. Let me share my screen. So, yeah, community, that's it for today. Let me come through and check with your comments. As usual, we have Queen Lati here saying, greetings, Bullrun family, waiting with enthusiasm for this interesting topic. Who really is the winner? Great question, Queen Lati. None other than Bullrun ecosystem. Thank you, King Steve and Queen Awino, our visionaries. Stay put. Well said, well said. And this is a question, who really is the winner? This is a question we need to ask ourselves individually. Now that we've gone through this session today, I'm sure everyone individually can answer this for themselves. Queen Tomiletso says, greetings to our developers, Brother Steve and Mama Wino, and the Bullrun family. Greetings back to you too, Queen Tomiletso. Thank you for being part of this session. It's always a pleasure seeing you in the community. Great Brother Theo says, greetings, my great brother Steve, dearest Queen Mama Wino, and my BRL family. Pray you and yours are well. The winner takes all. Can't wait to hear our great professor on this one. Let's go. Always a pleasure seeing you, great brother Theo. Greetings, great brother Steve. Okay, we read this already. Queen Kube says, greetings to all Bullrun family. Waiting to hear what Steve has for us today. I hope, Queen Kube, that this message today was of value to you. Queen Patricia says, greetings family. We are here again to learn more from our Mr. Steve. Thank you, Steve, for your commitment. Stay protected and blessed always. Thank you very much, Queen Patricia. May you also stay blessed and protected. You're very much appreciated. Queen Grace says, thank you, Steve, for once again showing up to educate, inform, and inspire us as always. Today's topic already is an inspiring one. Go on, Steve, and pour everything to us. Queen Grace, your positivity, your energy is contagious. We appreciate you very much for your leadership, your commitment. You're very much appreciated. And I hope that this message today, this session today was of value to you. Queen Val says, hello family, happy Thursday. Welcome to our welcome to the community, new members. Feel free to join our Telegram communities. Feel free to join. The links are all here. Bullrun is here, Killer Whale, and Survivor. Join our communities as we are very active and engaged on a daily, weekly basis on X, formerly known as Twitter, on Telegram. We are also, as you see today, on YouTube. We are extremely active. We are a very, very active community on various different platforms. We are daily also on Zoom. We also have Mondays we are on Twitter Space. Thursdays like today we are on YouTube, and Saturdays we are on Telegram as well. So we are very engaged. Thank you, Queen Val, for posting the links. Very much appreciated, and happy Thursday to you as well. Queen Patricia says, hello, Bullrun family. We are more than happy to be here. Education is key. Beautifully said, Queen Patricia. Education is not just key, but it's power as well. It literally uplifts us. It makes us think rationally, and it takes away all the um, emotions out of the equation, you know. And we can't, no one can make clear decisions while being emotional, right? We have to be rational and level headed to make informed decisions. And we can only do that if we are knowledgeable, if we are informed, right? So beautifully said, Queen Patricia. Queen Lydia says, Steve, may God give you more grace. Thank you so much, Queen Lydia. May God give you even more grace as well. You're very much appreciated for being part of this session today. I hope you took something away from today's session. My great brother Abdullahi says, Dear Bullrun community, welcome to today's session. We acknowledge King Steve's invaluable contributions to our growth. Thank you so much, my great brother Abdullahi. Your kind words are very welcomed. I'm very humbled by them. However, you contribute just as much, Brother Abdullahi. I see you all over the social platforms. Your comments, your feedbacks are very knowledgeable, very informative, very encouraging, very uplifting. You're very much appreciated, Brother Abdullahi. Thank you for your kind words. Your consistency is very much valued as well. Queen Catherine says, hello, everyone. Happy to be here. God bless you, Mr. Steve. Likewise, Queen Catherine, may you also and yours be blessed. Thank you for participating in today's community event. I hope you are able to take away something from today. Queen Cynthia says, I feel fortunate to be attending this session at the leg of a Bullrun. Thanks, Mr. Steve, for always ensuring that we are educated and inspired. Beautifully said, Queen Cynthia. Well spoken. This is part of one of our 4 pillars, right? The first one is to build or grow a global decentralized community where we can come together and not just socialize, but to educate and inspire each other, right? Just like you say. And the other one is while we are doing that, of course, we are being informed as well, right? So it's for education and inspiration and to grow a network effect, a global community that we can use the full effect of a network effect. Queen Beatrice says, good evening, community. Good evening to our Queen Mother and our own brother Steve. Thank you for today's informative session. You're very much appreciated, Queen Beatrice. You're very much appreciated for your leadership, your consistency, and your contributions that you put in the community. And it's all your hard works, community, queens and kings, that we are here. It's an effort. It's a collective effort. I'm just doing my part, and it's just a small part that I'm contributing to this much larger community, right? The ecosystem is bigger than one individual, right? We always say it takes more than one man or one woman show. It takes every single one of us. That's the only way we'll succeed, right? As a community. That's the whole point of this blockchain technology. That's what's known as the network effect. It takes many to be valuable. It's not about one person. It's not going to work that way, right? It takes all of us. So you're all very much appreciated. Thank you very much, Queen Beatrice. Queen Mother Wina herself says, greetings to our amazing queens and kings. Another exciting moment that we always look forward to. Thank you so much. Beautifully said, Queen Mama. You're very much appreciated. And your father say here, crypto is not just about making money. It's about changing the world by democratizing finance and giving power back to the people. Thanks, Steve, for giving us back our power. This is beautiful. This is exactly what it's about. And we tend to forget it, and we're so carried away sometimes, and we limit this powerful technology by just pumps and dumps. But it's so much more. It's all about giving power to the people, educating the people, being informed, using this technology to its fullest, like we've been discussing today. Amazon, Apple, Google, they're all coming in not to take third and fourth place. They're here to take over. It's competitive here. It's not about holding hands and singing. It's about taking over, leading. It's about the winner takes it all. And that's the reality that we has not sunk in the crypto space, right? But in the real world, the reality is winner takes it all. And we have to have that mentality. And it starts with solving challenges, having solutions to these challenges, embracing challenges, looking at them as opportunities. Beautifully said, Mom. Beautifully said. Crypto is not just about exactly, knowledge is power. So this is the key here. This is the key. Queen Shayla says, good evening, my developer. You are indeed a game changer, not forgetting our Queen Mother, the poverty eradicator. You guys have taught us a lot more, especially us, the grannies. Thank you so much, Queen. You're very much appreciated. Like we said, we're all in this together. Everybody's just chipping in whatever they can at their best abilities. And we are just playing a small part in all this, in this big ecosystem, right? This ecosystem is bigger than one person, bigger than two people. It's larger than even us, right? It will be around when we are all gone. So it has to function without an individual, right? It will have to keep going. And it can only do so if everybody chips in and takes on responsibility and accountability and ownership, right? That's the only way this is going to work. Queen Mutuku says, good evening, Bullrun family, Mother Wino and Brother Steve. I just want to thank you for always informing, educating, and inspiring us. We appreciate you a lot. What a great ecosystem we have. Beautifully said, Queen. Thank you so much for your input. You're very much appreciated. Thank you for your consistency. We are happy to have you here in our ecosystem. Queen Emily says, hello, Brother Steve, Queen Mom, and Bullrun family. Blessed to be in part of this be part of this ecosystem, this community. We are happy to have you too, Queen Emily. Thank you for your consistency. You are very much appreciated for your input, your commitment. Very much appreciated. Great Brother Theo says, Queen Mother, I love what you stated here. Crypto is about changing the world and giving back to the people. Thank you so much for sharing this. And I thank you again as well, Great Brother. Beautifully said, very well noted. Queen Kina says, hit the like button, family. This is to engage the algorithm so it can reach as many people as possible. This is something that we should do naturally. Thank you, Queen Kina, for notifying, encouraging the community to do so for those that have not yet. Queen Blessing says, greetings, family. Mr. Steve, our Queen Mother, Mama Wino, I am so excited to learn every day. We are pleased and humbled to have you here with us today. You are very much appreciated, Queen Blessing. Queen Aloshi says, greetings. Bullrun family, we give glory to God for continued support we are receiving from our devs, Brother Steve and Mama Wino. God bless them abundantly. You're very much appreciated, Queen Aloshi. May you also stay blessed, you and your family as well. My brother Lincoln says, evening community, Brother Steve and Mama Wino, grateful for the consistent market insights and analysis. It's always a pleasure seeing you in the community, my brother. It's a pleasure. Great to always see you and hear from you. Queen Viola says, hello, my lovely BRL community. I'm excited to be here again. Once again, we thank our brother Steve and Mama Wina for this informative session. Glad to have you here with us. Again, Queen Viola, you're very, very much appreciated. Very, very much appreciated. Uncle George says, thanks, Steve and Mama Wina, for being steady, focused, and dedicated. Energies. Persistence surely pays. You deserve a medal for this selfless dedication and vision for this community. Blessings to you. Thank you so much, Uncle George. You're very much appreciated. We all deserve it, right? That's the beautiful thing. We always say that we have an ecosystem where we don't have to step on each other's necks, right? We don't have to be selfish, right? We can work together as a community. We win together as a community, right? We all contribute to this community. That's the beautiful part about this ecosystem, about this industry, about the blockchain technology, is that we can make it work for all of us. We can all win, right? Without having to step on each other and take advantage of each other. We have enough of that in this industry. We have to be different, right? And that's the beautiful thing. So we all deserve it, Uncle George. And thank you for your encouraging words. Very much appreciated. This is an amazing time for crypto adoption globally. Absolutely. Marilyn, Queen Marilyn says, wow, this is great info. Queen Mother Caroline says, you are a gift to this community. Thank you for giving spirit. Thank you so much, Queen Mother Caroline. Always a pleasure seeing you in the community. You are very, very much appreciated. And it's always a pleasure reading from you, having you in the community. Thank you for your positive energy, your commitment, your consistency, your uplifting all of us. Queen Val says, there's 43 of us. Let's all hit the like button, family. Thanks for the reminder, Queen Val. Queen Mother Caroline says, you are a gift to this community. Thank you for your giving spirit. Thank you so much, Queen Mother Caroline. You're very much appreciated. So are you as well. You're a gift to all of us. Queen Esther says, good evening, Bullrun family. Good evening, Brother Steve and our Mama Wina. The winner indeed takes it all. We are on the winning side. Absolutely. Beautifully said, Queen Esther. Beautifully said. This is a great way to really end on a high note. Thank you so much, Queen Esther. You're very much appreciated. Queen Maureen is excited. Queen Evelyn says, thank you, Steve. I can't wait to see Bullrun blockchain technology in the 10 years from now. Queen Evelyn, you're very much appreciated. Thank you so much. There's so many beautiful things to come that are still ahead of us. And we're all part of this beautiful journey that is still ahead of us. And like I said, the key here is to see things before they happen, before they unfold. If the information is mainstream, there is no competitive advantage anymore, because now it's common knowledge. So the idea is to see things, anticipate things before it's mainstream. Let's prepare ourselves. Let's be informed enough and educated enough to anticipate what's about to come. Right now, all we hear about from Monday to Sunday is Bitcoin and how much Bitcoin MicroStrategy is purchasing. Meanwhile, infrastructures are being built on Ethereum. Amazon is logging in their domain name. They're partnering with Ethereum Foundation, and they're already working on infrastructures so that Larry Fink can tokenize all those things on Ethereum and start ETF staking yield without any infrastructure challenges, right? So we have to look at things for what they are, cancel the noise, and let's not be distracted. While people are screaming Ethereum is dead, Amazon has 400 billion at their disposal that they can deploy. And the irony is Ethereum right now is at 400 billion market cap. So imagine one company alone that is already working on the infrastructure. They already chose Ethereum to be their playground, right? And they're already dominating the cloud computing industry. So all of this is happening. What is happening in our favor. And Ethereum is going to be where it needs to be, at the top. And Ethereum is the Internet of Things. It's not my word. It's Amazon. They even dedicated a domain name. It's not called Amazon Bitcoin. It's called AmazonEthereum.org. And they're building infrastructures as we speak, so that staking yield can have their own nodes and be validators for Ethereum, because it gives them 5% on a deflationary asset. This is huge. So what we're seeing is Ethereum will turn into a way more attractive investment for institutions, especially for banks as well, as we saw that they'll be willing to invest in a deflationary asset just as they're already investing in treasury bills, and it's liquid enough for them to avoid a bank run. So what's happening on Ethereum is going to uplift all of us, because we are building on top of Ethereum. So it will soon be our part, and we'll get all the shine, all the sunshine, right? Right now we're getting all the rain. It's fine. We love the rain for now. But soon the rainbows and sunshine will come, and it will hit Ethereum, and then it will be our time to shine, right? And it will be our time to run and flip other cryptocurrencies as well. So with that said, community, thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your consistency. You're very much appreciated. Let's call it a session for today. I see Theo says this session was absolutely phenomenal, powerful, a must watch over and over again to fully digest it all. Thanks again for all you do. Great one. You are very much appreciated by us all. Salute. We can't end on a higher note than this. Great brother Theo, you're very much appreciated. Glad. I hope that we benefited from this session today. It was extremely long today, but there was just so much to digest, like great brother Theo said. And let's understand this. It was a very important session today. It's supposed to uplift us, encourage us, and so that we can make rational, educated decisions, right? Let's not be prey of emotions and make irrational decisions, but let's stay put, let's stay focused, let's understand what's coming, and we are ready for it. Thank you, community. Have a wonderful rest of your week till we meet again. Bye-bye, everyone.